Hey guys, Justin here with Rampengu Nation, and I'm coming with you guys with a new Drytron video, post Power of the Elements. So everybody has been trying to figure out like what's the best way to build a deck and what to do post Power of the Elements because we're getting two new decks that are pretty good, Terra Elements and Sprite. So I thought I would showcase some simple combos as to what we can do with the deck, pre-side and then post-side. So pre-side, like I've kind of like made a new like alpha zeta combo that's kind of neat. It still uses Bandage Ruler, which I think should be still like the main win condition of the deck because it beats so many things in the game because special summoning is such a huge important part of the game that the only deck that doesn't really care about non-special summoning is Floundries, which obviously when you search Lancey, that's like high impact enough because we're always shotgunning Lancey in our deck. So generally game one, if we go first and we're able to full combo, we should always try to win the game unless our ruler gets outed essentially. So the best way to back up our ruler is to find multiple layers to protect our ruler. So this new like alpha zeta combo like I've been like working on, essentially it tries to net as many cards that are good in the current meta. Post side, it'll also show you why like we need to play Idaten in the deck in order to be able to set up Beatrice and Bandage Rule. Because without Idaten, that's impossible to do because you can't ritual summon 3 times to get the 2 6s and the extra tribute on the Benton. So let's get into it. This is going to be like the first combo, pre-siding. So this is what you're going to generally try to go for game 1. So if we start, we're simply going to use Alpha, Tribute or Zeta. Search for Benton, you know, like simple like bread and butter stuff like that we've always been doing. Zeta Tribute our Benton, and that's going to search for us our menu and a Drytron. You know, like pretty powerful card with our ritual spells. And then we're going to search another Benton. This is where we deviate a bit from the combo because usually we would try to search like a different ritual card and keep our Benton in deck. But actually in this combo, we're going to use both our Bentons, which is pretty cool. Like it being a 2, we'll be able to show you like how using both of them is pretty nice. So now we're going to overlay both our guys for Mubeta. Mubeta's effect's going to trigger and we're going to dump from our deck Gamma. Now every other step past here is going to have to be sequenced very specifically. So first things first, we're going to use our ritual spell, detach from our Mubeta and revive Benton. Now, we need to do this first because we need another name engraved for Gamma to be able to revive. Now we're not going to use Meteonis yet, we're going to use Gamma first. So Gamma is going to tribute Benton, revive itself, and then name that you detach from Mubeta. This is very important because we're going to want to keep this Benton on the field first, and then we're going to want to reduce our Gamma. Post side, this is the most important because when we're using our ritual spell, we need the Mubeta to be 2000 attack. So remember that I said that for the next comment, I'll explain why. So now we're going to use our Meteonis. Well, first, trigger our Benton to search our Bandage Ruler. Then we're going to use our Meteonis to reduce our Gamma. So this is where the combo kind of like gets a little neat, and like this is where like I thought this card would be pretty neat for it. So we overlay both our level 1s to make a Recital Starling. If you guys aren't aware what this card does, it when it's XYZ summoned, you can make a monster in the field gain 300 attack and defense for each of its materials. You're going to try to generally like avoid using that effect most of the time because the effect that we're really going to be using is detaching the search for a level 1 winged beast. So yeah, which is kind of neat. So we're going to use our Starling right now, and we're going to use it to search for DD Crow. This card, like Post Power of the Elements, I play 3 of it in the deck. Reason being is that it's very good into like into Terra Elements and into Splight because you're able to hit their Sprite target when they're trying to revive swap. If they go Gigantic, summon swap, overlay it into Sprite and they try to go Sprite revive, you can hit it, or you can hit their their Ronin totem. So it prevents them from like doing like a lot, and they'll only let them like starter and like elf, which you can generally play through as Drytron. So being able to search this card is really neat because if your Bandage Ruler gets outed, you want as many layers as possible. You don't want your primary win condition only be from your board, but you're gonna want to have as many other interruptions in other ways form. Because if your Bandage Ruler gets impermed or Dark Rulered, you want to have like other ways to like play the game. So this is why we're searching DD Crow. It's like a little deviating, like I said. And the reason why I don't like the Splight Elf combo as much as I like Bandage Ruler is because Bandage Ruler is very good against generically any deck that special summons, with the exception of, like, you know, obviously Floundries. Floundries is the only deck that's not gonna like get hurt by Ruler, but in our combos we've always been searching Lancia, and then we all shotgun it so that they can't even use their pots, and then the best they can do is really just have to open Rabina specifically in order to send that through to make Empen still, which is like very hard for them to do into your board essentially, because what you can do then is still remove their monster on their Lancia, and then they can't play the game. So I'll explain what I mean by that like when I get to that point, but right now this is where we're at. So we're gonna pair then tribute the Recital and the Benton, and we're gonna use Benton's effect to search, and we're gonna search for our Lancia. So this is our main win condition versus Flunder, and then this is our win condition like versus like Sprite and Terra if they somehow out a ruler. Now from here we're gonna use our ritual spell, and we're gonna just detach from the Zeta, and we're gonna revive Benton, and then we're gonna turn those two now into IP. Because now we don't have like, we're not using like Mirage as a primary win condition, we try to make IP. Because IP allows us to go into Appaloosa on our opponent's turn, which is really good against Terra Element, or it lets us go into Unicorn, just shuffle back the first card that Splight summons. So say they go Imperm and they out or a ruler, we can then go IP, make Unicorn, spin their first guy back, and they can't like play the game. So this is why they're generally like making the IP is powerful. This is your end board essentially. Like this is just from just Alpha Zeta. With the Beta Buster combo, obviously we needed, it was a 2.5 card combo, so we needed like Prep or Benton or opening hand with the two names. So yeah, we can get Lancia, which is shotgun against Flunder. If your opponent's playing Flunder, they can't go into map to make the extender, so they only have one linear play, which is from their normal summons. So if they go Rabina effect, you can chain IP, link these two guys off into Unicorn. By the time they drop the Eagle down, you shuffle back one of their dudes. So now they have to have another name in their hand to be able to like continue to summon the Empen, which at that point is like very difficult because they're already under Lancia. So yeah, this generally would beat most decks when you go for it game one. But now you're going to ask me like, okay, why is Idaten important? Well, let me show you post-side why it's important. So this is going to be the Alpha Zeta combo post-side of why we need this. And for this one specifically, I'm going to show you what you're going to go for versus Splight. So whenever we're winning against Sprite, this is like game 2 or game 3, you're going first. This is what you're going to generally try to go for with just Alpha Zeta. So the starting is pretty much the same. You go Alpha Tribute Zeta, search Benton. Zeta is then going to tribute our Benton. And then Benton's going to be here, search Medionis, and search your second Benton. Same exact thing we did in the first one. Now we're going to make Mubeta. Mubeta is going to dump our Gamma. Pretty much like the steps are like the same. We're going to use our ritual spell, detach, summon back Benton. This is very important. You have to sequence this in this specific order. Now we're going to use Gamma in the grave to tribute the Benton from our hand. Summon back Gamma, then summon back our guy we detach from Mubeta. Remember, we have to specifically reduce Gamma or Zeta here. This is very, very important. You're going to need this Mubeta to be at 2000 attack. I'll explain why at the end. So our Benton's going to first search our ruler. Then this is like pretty much like the same what we did in our first end board, but I'll show you where it like deviates a bit. So we're going to make the same recital like I said, and then we're going to use it to search our DD Crow. And then here is where we're going to tribute Benton and recital to make our Vandy's roll. So now, again, main win condition against like every deck that's not like Floanderies. So they have to have basically like Dark Rule or Imperm to out this guy. You can also like, post-side you're going to have Beta Buster if your hand's like 2.5 combo. You can also go for Beta Buster. And then like, you can do like different things that way. So now you're going to use Benton's effect, and you're going to be able to search your Idaten. And then you're going to use Medionis Detach, use for Idaten. Idaten's effect is going to trigger to add back Medionis. This is why this guy has to be 2000 now, because you're going to have to be able to fully tribute him to revive Benton. So now you're going to have 2 6s on board, and this is where it's like important. Everything that you search had to be searched in that specific order. Everything that you when you use the Benton search has to be in the specific order, because you'll notice like there's no leftover monsters. Like we have to do everything in this specific order. Now you're going to just overlay the 2 6s to make Beatrice. And then versus Splight, what we generally try to go for, we use effective Beatrice to dump Mischief of the Gnomes. So this is like where you're kind of like already like winning the game, because for them to play through Mischief as well, they're gonna have to have like Starter or a Diva essentially to make Splight Elf and then Elf Revive, and then another 2 that they would have to summon out to be able to make Gigantic. With Mischief, you're gonna be reducing everything in their hand. I'm pretty sure like everybody kind of knew like, you know, you can send Mischief off Beatrice, but this is where you can send Token Collector to. But I didn't think like you guys knew how to set up both like Ruler and Beatrice with DD Crow and Mischief, so I thought this would be like a really cool combo to show you guys. If you guys want the deck profile, Be sure to like and subscribe. I'm going to be trying to do more Terra Element videos, more Drytron videos, trying to like showcase Exorcist here, because I kind of like really like that deck too. Try to go over like some cool combos that we can do with those decks, maybe show you guys some like cool like gameplay replays and stuff. But yeah, be sure to smash that like button, subscribe, and share with your friends. This is Justin Singh with Rampengu Nation, and see you guys.